Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. It's Friday, so we're here to talk about the games I played this week, share my thoughts and opinions with you guys, and let you guys know if I think you guys should check them out or not. Of course, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. If you've played any of the games I shared with you today, let me know your guys' thoughts. Did you guys enjoy them? Maybe there's something you didn't enjoy about them. I'd also love to hear about the games you guys are playing, as that gives me ideas of new games to play and experience. So I do appreciate everyone who has been sharing with me each week. You guys are great. And if you guys have a suggestion on a title you think I might enjoy, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience that I might have missed out on. I have a nice growing list of games to either buy or play from your guys' recommendations, so please keep those coming. I've got just one game this week to share with you guys, and I did beat it, and it took me like 12 hours this week to beat the game, and that was after I had to restart, which I'll talk about in a moment. But that game is called Under the Waves, and I've got this for the Xbox One that I play on the Xbox Series X. It was also released on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and I believe the PC as well. It was made by a real small development studio, and I'm really enjoying this game because this is a third-person story narrative-driven game, and it plays a lot like Above a Steel Sky, if you're Beyond a Steel Sky. If you guys have ever played that game before, reminds me a lot of that game. Just a really fun game with a great story, has really good music. The graphics are pretty good, as they are cel-shaded. Read you guys something from the back though. So it says, an immersive underwater experience, a gripping story about love and loss, a mystery to uncover. Now what's really cool about this game is that it takes place completely underwater. And you play as Stan, who is a deep-sea diver, and he's escaping from a traumatic past. Something really bad happened to him in his past, and he decided to come work for this company, Unitrench, and he wants to work underwater, and he does that for a few weeks just to get away from the world and everything and just be alone down there. And as you play through the game, you'll experience the story, and there's some little mystery and stuff to solve down there. What's really neat is you get to have a little submarine called the Moon, which you get to go around through the ocean, because it is an open world game in the ocean on the map where you can go to anywhere you want to there. There's collectibles to find, there's the main story to go through, but there's also some side missions and stuff you can do as well. I do want to warn you guys though, if you are going for 100% completion like I was, you want to make sure that you grab the camera as first thing you can do when you get to the sleeping module that Stan lives in. If you don't grab it there, it'll end up glitching and you can't grab it later, and then you won't be able to get the camera missions unlocked, and you won't be able to get some of the achievements for getting all the collectibles, because the camera counts as one of them. So I just wanted to warn you guys about that. I played the game for 8 hours and discovered that, and I had to start the whole game over again, and then it took me about 12 hours. So you can beat the game if you don't do any of the extra stuff and just burn through the story. You could probably beat it in like 4 to 7 hours. But if you go to do everything like I did and get the secrets and go through everything on the map and get collectibles and craft the resources and build stuff up like that, you're looking about 12 hours or so. So let's check out Under the Waves. Alright my friends, today I'm continuing my journey with Under the Waves. This is a fantastic story narrative driven game. Really been having a lot of fun. I'm so glad that I discovered this game thanks to my buddy Chance, who told me about this game in one of his videos. I'm really glad I added it to my collection, and I've been having a blast playing it. I do want to warn you guys though that the game still is played with a few bugs, and there is a bugged camera that you have to get on the very first day. If you do not get it on that day one, you'll be able to see it, and it'll be glitched, and you won't be able to pick it up to complete the side missions that go along with the camera, and you won't be able to get the collectibles. So if you're going for 100%, you want to make sure you grab that on day one. So let's check it out. I didn't even realize that until after I got to day 14, and I had almost 8 hours in, and I had to start all over again, and I'm at over 2 hours again after working through getting the stuff that I was working on. Now, a lot of my time was spent getting collectibles and not just playing through the story itself. So let's check it out here. Just a little PSA I wanted to give you guys. If you're going for 100% like I am, make sure you grab that camera the first chance you get, otherwise it could glitch out on you. So it'll be here in your sleeping module where Stanley lives. So you play as Stanley. So he's a deep sea diver who has a very traumatic past. Something bad happened to him like 3 or 4 years ago, and it really devastated his life. And so he decided to escape from the world by coming out here and working for Unitrench, a company, as a deep sea diver to get away from his past and everything. However, his past starts to catch up through him, and you explain through the story. It's kind of got cel-shaded graphics, but that still looks pretty good, especially out in the ocean. And the game really plays a lot like Beyond a Steel Sky. So if you guys have played that narrative, third-person story-driven game, you'll feel right at home with this game, with puzzles to solve, and great, fantastic music. It's very beautiful music. I actually got a code to download the digital soundtrack, which I need to do, and you can listen to it here on YouTube, but it's got really good music, and it plays throughout the story, which is great. There's also a lot of collectibles which you can get.
A lot of blood on this iron. Blood and sweat.
And that camera, when you first start, will be right up here, and you'll see it. You want to make sure you grab it, or you won't be able to do the side missions. So I got a great interface here, so you have your map when you're in, which I'll show you guys the map when we're out in the ocean. But right here, these photo missions, if you don't grab that camera, you will be out of luck with being able to do the missions, and it's just a glitch that is in the game that they need to patch out. They actually had released a couple different patches since this game released last year and fixed a lot of bugs in it, so really glad that they're working on it. But this keeps track of your mission progress and all the completed missions you have down here, so you can see all the different ones I beat so far. This keeps track of your collectibles. You have different items you can use. You can also craft, which I'll show you guys the crafting here in just a moment, but it's really cool. So you have oxygen sticks, because remember, you're underwater, so Stanley has a scuba gear he wears, which has an oxygen tank. Well, it only has so much oxygen in it, so you have to replenish your oxygen, otherwise you'll drown. But he also has access to a sub called the Moon, which has its own air supply, so you don't have to worry about it. But you got mines, you've got flares, all kinds of different things you can find throughout the world. There's also all kinds of resources for you to find, like metal fragments, plastic pieces, algae, coal, geodes, and it's all stuff you find out and about in the world, which you can then use to craft stuff. So it's important to make sure you're collecting resources so you can craft upgrades and different things. You'll find blueprints out and about in the world, because Stanley only knows how to make it if he finds the blueprints, which is part of getting the stuff. They also have your upgrades. Like, I've upgraded my fuel, so I have more fuel, and I also upgraded my oxygen, so I have more oxygen available. I'll show you guys the crafting here real quick, which there's different stations throughout the ocean and different facilities that are down here.
I can have enough to put something
which you can
together.
craft, and it takes algae, takes 3 algae and 2 plastics to create a oxygen stick. Which is important to have a lot of these around. Always good. You can make flares and other stuff, and then of course, like I said, you can get your upgrades. So I've got the oxygen upgrade, but I need to get a fuel upgrade, so there we go. It's been crafted now. And I've got my better oxygen, so there we go. And now we just got to talk to Tim to continue our mission. Now what's also cool too,
to change this unit's vocal characteristics, contact the Unitrench legal department.
is Mercury. He's a little AI companion that lives down here that you interact with sometimes. And he has the same voice actor as the guy who voice acted the robot in Beyond a Steel Sky. So it was really cool, a little detail there.
Where is that? New York?
And then here's a cool little snow globe I found, which you can then get a picture of what you found down in the ocean. So all kinds of neat little collectibles for you. There's also a cool mini game in this where you can play attacking a punching bag, and you have to hit the buttons in a certain area and try to get your high score up. There's also a guitar that he finds down here, which you can then play 3 different songs when you find the music down here, and it plays kind of a mini game, kind of like Rock Band, where you have to hit the buttons in a certain sequence. Sometimes you have to hold them down, and the more combos you get, the higher score you get. So there's some cool little mini games too.
Tim, I am officially a master recycler.
Good way to reuse all the junk you may find out there. Now, we're trying to pin down where these comms glitches are coming from. Need you to check the local signals just outside. Follow your marker.
I can do that. Down now.
Okay, so now I'll show you guys the vast ocean and the world you get to explore, because it is an open world out here in the ocean, and you can go around and do whatever you want to, go after collectibles or do the story missions and stuff. And every day has so many different missions available for you to take on. What beautiful look down here in the ocean. Here's Stanley. He controls really well in his scuba gear.
Here we go.
And if you hit the right bumper button, he'll actually do his little sonar thing, and it'll bring up your whole map here. And so on the left there's my oxygen meter, so as I'm exploring, you know, I'll use up oxygen. Since I upgraded, I got double bar now, and so it goes a real long time. Good controls though, you just control him with the left stick moves him, the right stick adjusts your camera. If you use the right stick, he goes up, left stick he goes down. You can use the left bumper button to lock onto certain things that you're out in the exploring. And then here's our moon, which is the little submarine you get to control, which is cool. Now you do got to be careful. The submarine does have a life bar, and it can get damaged, but you can repair it with repair kits. So you have to be careful. Now this controls really well as well. Got good control scheme here. So the right trigger button goes forward. The left trigger will pull you back. You can hold the A button to use fuel to do a boost, and then you use the left stick up and down to control whether you're going up or down or not. You can also turn left or right, and then the camera is adjusted with the left stick. And you want to use this sonar a lot, all the time as you're exploring different areas, because it'll actually unlock icons on the surface here. And so you can put like a thing there, and then it goes search for the different blueprints and stuff to find. You can then get out. Which they've already been unlocked, but they would show you right here and how to get them. And then on this main screen, it keeps track of all your collectibles on the left there. So I have 9 of 15, 8 of 20, 7 of 10, and 2 of 3, which you have all your collectibles and stuff keeps track of down here. All the different things you can find, which is neat. All the upgrades and the different ones you gotta find there. So I'm going for 100%, so I want to do everything in the game.
Back at it.
And it's just got a really good story. So you can toggle the mission on there, and then it'll show you where to go for the mission. So it looks like we gotta go up here to the top of our module. Whoops! That's where you gotta be careful. Get a little damage to it. And we're gonna check the signal. There's also these cool little drones that live down here. Ooh, there's some sea turtles. Actually, gotta take a picture of those guys real quick for a side mission I'm doing.
Everyone love this.
There we go. Completed one of our side missions there. Yep, just completed it now. Got all the different pictures of the different turtles. that I needed. So I needed 3 different ones: octopus, blue shark, and the turtle. So I got that mission complete. So now that little side mission is done. He can also attach to things by hitting the Y button, and he can land on stuff so that you can walk around and interact with objects. So that's what we're going to do now.
Alright, getting the reports. Yep, maintenance was right. Antenna issue. Stan, I need you to check on the antennas.
Righto. Heading there now.
So now we'll go do that little mission here. So, of course, you guys know I don't want to ruin story or anything. This mission won't do anything major, like story-wise, for you. Because, of course, I want you guys to play this game for yourself and experience a fantastic story. So we got to find the malfunctioning ones. To see with that little red line, you just got to follow the cable to find which one is malfunctioning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
So it looks like we found one. It's where the oxygen is created, and it looks like it's messed up, so let's go repair it. Oh, might have to actually go over there first and get the little mission started, actually. Yeah, I gotta go here first. Get a little ahead of myself there. Oh, that's why I didn't go over where I have to go to the area first. Getting a little ahead of myself, but you guys get an idea of the game though here. It's really cool. Like I said, you get to play underwater in this big, vast ocean. It's got a pretty decent size map, as you guys can see here. You get to explore. You can go anywhere in the confines of this map. There's all kinds of things for you to collect, and it'll show up on your map like this is where algae is at, and you can use that for collecting, crafting resources. You'll find old ships that have sunk out here. You'll find planes, helicopters, cars, all kinds of weird different things are out in the ocean for you to explore. There's caves and stuff, all kinds of different animals. Like I saw a blue whale, I saw humpback whales, I saw seals, turtles, fish, sharks. It's just really interesting, all the different life you get. And there's not a whole lot of games that I've played where you get to play in an underwater world. So definitely one I think you guys should check out is Under the Waves. Fantastic game. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that look at Under the Waves. I'm really glad that my buddy Chance, Pick Your Battles Collecting, mentioned this game. He had picked it up a few weeks ago, and he said it just looked kind of cool, and he just was getting a feeling like, hey, this might be one of those titles down the road that's going to be hard to find. And he's definitely right about that, because this did get a pretty small print run. So I definitely recommend getting the title. I got my copy from Gamefly. I think it was like $15 or something, but we got a really good deal. Got it for Christmas, and I'm really glad that I picked it up, because I had a lot of fun with it. Now I do have to warn you guys that after I filmed that gameplay clip, from the time it took from there for me to beat it, I actually had several crashing bugs that happened to me. I actually had the thing crash 8 different times, where in the middle of loading a cutscene, the game just crashed right to the dashboard, and I had to load the game again. Luckily, the game saves all the time with autosave, so you don't have to really worry about that. But I did want to warn you guys that the game still has some bugs, because it launched with a lot of bugs. So I was reading about people that had a lot of issues with it, crashing like crazy, especially on PC. But I did have issues with it, but I was able to beat the game, and I actually was able to get both endings, because there are 2 different endings. You get a choice at the end. What's really cool is you can actually reload your last save file, and then you can actually go through, do the little ending part again, and you can do the other ending if you want to see the 2 different endings. So it was a really good game. Really enjoyed the story, the characters, the music was just absolutely phenomenal. They have a great You can listen to the soundtrack on YouTube and stuff. It's really awesome. Plays throughout the game, and it's just a really awesome experience. I had a lot of fun with it, so I definitely recommend you guys check out Under the Waves. Just be aware, though, that it still does have bugs and issues. Like I said, I had the game crash 8 times on me, and then there is also that camera bug where if you don't grab the camera on one of those first days, you'll see it in your living quarters, but it won't be accessible to pick up, and then you're going to be out of those missions. And I wish I had found that out sooner and not 8 hours into the story and then found out, oh, I can't get it, so I can't even do 3 missions, and I can't complete the collectibles and all that. So I was really upset about that, but I liked the game so much that I decided just to start it over, which wasn't a huge deal, but, you know, it was still 8 hours lost. So just so you guys don't have that issue like I did. Really enjoyed the game, though. Had a lot of fun playing through it. There's some mini games in the game too. Like you get a guitar, you can actually play songs in there, and it's kind of like Guitar Hero, where you have to hit the buttons at the right time and hold them down, and you can get combos and stuff. There's also a punching bag mini game where he punches a punching bag, and you have to hit a button at a certain time for that, and you get scores on that. So there are a few little mini games in the story, but really wonderful experience. Highly recommend you guys check it out if you like story narrative games. You know, there's no action in this or anything. This is just a story game that you go through from point A to point B, but it tells a really good story. Definitely you guys should check out Under the Waves. Alright guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, have a wonderful day, and Sleepy will see you next time.